So I've heard that the Lumineth can be one of the more challenging models to paint in Age of Sigmar. However, in today's video, I'll be showing you tips and tricks on how to paint them with ease. Sorta. Welcome to Realm Painters. So, like I said, in today's video, I'll be showing you how to paint the Ydrilan Riverblades. Hopefully in today's video, I can convince you to not only join the High Elves, but have fun painting them. So this video is broken up into 4 sections. The first will be the head, and then the armor and clothes, then the weapons, and then lastly the branch. Now before we jump in, if you aren't interested, we also have a ton more tutorials from across the realms. So be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And without further ado, let's get to my least favorite part, the skin. First off, prime the model with Wraithbone from Citadel. So this tutorial will be doing the sections a bit differently than what I usually do. Since we are priming the model with Wraithbone, we'll be starting from the head down, just because I noticed that after painting over Wraithbone, if you keep holding the model with the painted areas, it may chip. So I think it's a bit better to start from the top of the model downwards. Anyway, let's start with the skin. Base coat her neck and ears with Cadian flesh tone. Then with Ushabti Bone, let's mix it with Cadian flesh tone about 50-50. We're trying to create a paler complexion for the elves, so it took me 2 different highlights with a mix to get the complexion that I wanted. Then with the same method, do the same thing with their eyes under the mask. The highlight will be mainly under the eyes where the light will hit. You don't have to worry too much for painting in the lines, since we will be painting the mask later. Let's continue on with the hair. You can paint the hair any color, but for this model I'll base coat with Rhinox hide. Make sure it has full coverage. For me it took about 2 coats. Now with dried bark, highlight the visible strands of the hair. If you want it to be more noticeable, mix with Rakehearth and dried bark on top of the highlights. Now with dried bark, paint the headband. Then edge highlight the top and bottom with Dunebowl brown. Next up, let's base coat the plume with Lothern blue. Then we'll dry brush over the top part with a mix of some Lothern blue with any white. If by chance you didn't lighten the blue enough, just add more white and dry brush some more until you like the look. Now paint Liberator Gold on the gems on the plume. Then with any white, water it down a little bit before painting it onto the ponytail in the mask. I like to have it a little bit watered down so we don't get any texture from the paint, and that we can also avoid clogging the indented design in the mask. After that fully dries, go ahead and use watered down Agrax wash over all the white. Make sure it hits all the edges and indents in the mask since we're trying to show off the design. After waiting again to dry, let's use some of the white to lighten up the mask and clean up the ponytail. Then with Liberator Gold, paint the edge of the mask and the horse head. Then try your best to paint the trim edges on the ponytail piece. If you accidentally touch the hair, just fix it up a little bit with dryad bark. Lastly, let's paint the gems on their forehead. Let's mix Genestealer Purple with some white. Make sure it's very light, I would say about 1 part purple, 3 part white. Then with a darker shade of the purple, shade the bottom of the gem. Then mix a lighter shade of purple compared to the base color and add a little dot near the top of the gem to signify the shine. And the head should be completed. Next up, let's do the clothes. Personally for me, I really like how the box art shirt color looks, so with the paints that I do have, I use a 50-50 mix of Lothern Blue and Sabrite Green to get that light teal color. If you have a paint pot that's already that shade, do that instead. I just have to get a little bit creative. You may notice that I forgot to paint the cloak tails, so make sure you paint the inner panels as well. I will eventually paint them later in the tutorial if you need that reference. Then with the leftover paint, mix in a tiny bit of white for the highlighting the folds on the shirt and the connection lines between the sleeves and torso. Now with dryad bark, paint the leather straps that connect their armor to their chest. Don't forget to include the back corset section. Then with Dunbull Brown, edge highlight the strap and corset edges. Lastly with the shirt, paint the ribbon in the back with Lothern Blue. Now let's do the gloves. All you need to do is base coat it with dryad bark. Then with Dunbull Brown, edge highlight the end of the gloves and knuckles on the hand. And with Liberator Gold, paint it onto the small clasp near the edge of the gloves. This is a time where I realized I forgot to paint the tails on their cloak, so just use the same recipe that you used on the shirt with the tails. Don't worry if you paint over the trim, just use some Wraithbone to clean up the edges. Now let's paint the pants. With Fenrisian Grey, base coat the pants. Then I like to add a little bit of white and do a soft highlight on the top of the thigh. Lastly, let's get those boots painted by base coating them in dryad bark. Then with Dunbull, highlight the edge of the soles. Now with some Liberator Gold, paint the clasp near the top of the bootleg, and you finish the clothes. Next up will be the armor. Let's start off by washing the armor sections with white. Then with watered down Agrax Earthshade, wash over everything you had previously painted white, including the shoulder pad, chest plate, and knee pads. Once that fully dries, go ahead with a little amount of white on the brush and clean up the flat spaces around the indents. Now onto the last bits, let's paint the trim with Liberator Gold. Make sure not to paint the symbol on the chest with this color, but in Retributor Gold for a bit of contrast. And the armor is done! Next up are the weapons. Let's start with the blades by painting them with a base coat of Black Legion. You can use a regular black paint if need be, but I just like the way Black Legion easily coats the model. After the model is fully dry brush the spear blades with Ironbreaker. Then with a regular brush, paint the blades on their back and thigh with the silver. Since the blades are more flat than the spear, go ahead and give the blades a wash of Nuln Oil. Don't forget to do the same thing with a blade on the thigh. Now with Retributor Gold, paint the base of the blades on the spear and the handles on the daggers. When you are painting the last dagger on the thigh, go ahead and also paint the emblem connected to their chest armor as well. Next up, let's finish the spear pole by base painting it Dunbull Brown. Then with Scrag Brown, outline the little ring indent details that are near the hand. Then with the same color, paint the swirl on the dagger handle on their thigh. After that, use a small thing of Retributor Gold to paint the tip of the dagger sheath. Now with Dryad Bark, paint the leather that attaches the dagger to the thigh, and the dagger on their back. Then with Dunbull Brown, edge highlight both pieces. To finish up the dagger on the thigh, with a dollop of Liberator Gold, paint the clasp button on their leather strap. Then use the same color to base paint the emblem on the dagger holder on the back. Next, use the same color recipe for the gem like we used on the mask previously. Next up with Retributor Gold, paint the bottom of the dagger holder that has the tassel attached. Lastly, paint the tassel Lothern Blue. And the weapons are complete! So technically the model is finished, however, I wanted to also show you how I painted the branch since it is an important piece to the model. So first up, base coat the branch in Steel Legion. Then mixing up Steel Legion with Dryad, shade the branch, following the sculpt of the branch and using box art as reference. If the shade is too dark, just go back with Steel Legion and glaze over until you get the desired color. Then with Raykarth Flesh, mix that with Steel Legion as well and put it down on the highlights. You can go back and forth with these three colors until you like how it looks. And the Ydrilan Riverblade model is complete. And just like that, you know how to paint the Lumineth Riverblades. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I've been really enjoying the learning process on how to paint the Lumineth, and I hope you did as well. If you're interested in how to paint more Lumineth, just comment down below and let us know which models you're interested in. And also letting you know, we will soon have a 3-part tutorial coming up So make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to stay notified. But that's all I have for you today, so see you in the next realm.